YouTube friends and family. It has been a hot minute since we've done a YouTube video. Apologies, this is gonna be a hard one. Sunday evening, it is Saturday today, so last weekend, Sunday evening, we experienced a house fire. It was very scary, very traumatic, very traumatizing, all of that. You can kind of see the tape along the side of the house here. I'm going to show you in a minute, but it started in the garage and it went up really fast. It's so weird. It's such a weird experience because the fire went really fast, but it also, the whole process was really long and really slow, and it's hard to explain. It got big really fast, and then I don't know. So let me start. We were Sunday afternoon. We had come outside to mow the grass, pick up sticks, clean up the yard. I was cleaning out a bunch of my garden beds. We're all in the backyard. Clint was kind of coming back and forth between the front and the back because he had just come out to the front to mow, and I think he was bringing he had gotten done and he was bringing the lawnmower back to the backyard. Aaron was scoopering. I was working in the garden. We did have a small brush fire going in the fire pit, but it was just smoldering. It wasn't flaming. Things weren't blowing around. It was windy, but not terribly windy. Not like now, which you might not even be able to hear me right now. Sorry. But it was windy. And so smoke was blowing, but nothing was flying out of the fire pit. And like I said, it wasn't even flaming. It was just smoldering. So, it was burning, but it was just a very low heat burn, things like that. So the kids were in and out. I had just sent them into the garage to get me some firewood that we usually use in the winter for our fireplace in the house. We had some left over. So I wanted to try to get the fire going a little stronger in the fire pit. So I told them to go get some firewood and we would try to get it started with that. Threw that into the fire pit, threw some more sticks in there. Still nothing was happening. I was getting a little frustrated, why can't I get this thing to start good? But then I went about my business with just working in the gardens, raking up trash and poop. I was back by the shed, on the other side of the pool, and I heard Aaron screams, "There's smoke coming from the garage, there's smoke." And then Emmett had ran towards the garage and then turned around and came sprinting back away from it, screaming, "Fire, fire." So Clint and I both ran towards the garage. We looked into that garage door that connects to the backyard. Sorry, my fingers are gross because I've been digging through trash. Not actual trash, but fire trash. Anyways, Clint and I ran to the garage to look. We poked our heads in the door, and by then it was flaming. It was engulfed in flames. The outside part, which I will show you, of the garage was already engulfed in flames. It was too big for us to even try to put it out ourselves to stop it, to do anything. Didn't have a fire extinguisher in the garage, so Clint and I kind of look at each other and he asks, what do we do? And I said, call 911. We need the fire department. We can't do this by ourselves. Call 911 now. So he got his phone out. My phone was in the house. So I thought it was a goner. Anyways, so he got his phone out, called 911. We both start running. He runs forward. I'm getting all the kids. And I get them out to the front yard. The And then I had ran in the house. I know you're not supposed to, but I ran in to try to find the dogs because the dogs were inside. I was in there for a while because I couldn't find them. I was freaking out. I was like, where are they? Did they get into the garage? Like, because they can open the door from the house to the garage on their own. I was freaking out, so I was looking all over. It was very smoky in the house already. Very smoky. Then I hear Clint yelling from outside saying that he already got them, because I guess they were just roaming in the living room and he just opened the door and let them run out. So then I came running out of the house. I grab the kids, I go across the street, I sit over there and waited for the fire department, and it seemed like it took a really long time for the fire department to get here. And we're not a big city. The fire department's just a few blocks down that way, actually. But it did seem like it took them a long time. It took them a long time to get here. It took them a long time to get all hooked up and start spraying water. You know, but that's that thing where it's like it was just smoking. Like there was smoke, you know, lots of smoke coming up. When we came outside, and then all of a sudden it was just like flames everywhere. The garage door was closed and it had like melted and then fallen down. Our basketball hoop, we saw it melt and fall before our very eyes. All the kids' bicycles. I'm going to show you all this here in a second. Well, I'm going to show you as much as I can. The doors and everything is they're all boarded up now. You know, our insurance company made sure to send somebody to board everything up so strangers can't be getting in and hurting themselves. So I'll show you as much as I can. I just wanted to tell our story and show you kind of where we're at right now. Parents came, my mom, the neighbor actually came and got the kids and went down to their house. They're down on the corner to try to get them away from watching everything. And then by the time the fire department was here and spraying everything, like it took them a long time to get it out. And I think by that time it was so big and so hot that, you know, they had a bit of trouble. And we also had hard to talk in the past tense about it already. We had a metal roof, and that made it really hard for them to get into, apparently. And actually, at one point, it actually exploded out because the fire couldn't burn through the metal roof, so it just caused a lot of pressure, and it exploded part of the roof. It was scary. My mom went down to the neighbors to get the kids. She took the kids to their house. And I just kind of sat here and watched everything get destroyed. It was a very traumatic, like I said, very traumatic, very sad experience. But yes, we are safe. All of us are safe. The animals are safe. The gecko even survived. He survived the fire. We were able to go in Sunday night and get him out. He's alive. I don't know how. Yeah, so we're very thankful. We're very lucky. We know that we are blessed, that we are all safe and uninjured. It doesn't take away the fact that it's still a very sad experience for us. It's still a very traumatic experience for us, and we're still upset that we just, you know, have to go through this, and we have to go through the process of replacing everything, and eventually we're gonna have to like literally dig through the house to find if anything is salvageable, you know, and it's gonna be traumatic. So while yes, we are all safe and we are grateful that we're all safe, does not take away the fact that we're all still very sad about what we're losing. You know, yes, I know most of it can be replaced, some of it can't. Some of it is, you know, memories and family heirlooms and, you know, pictures that we don't have digital copies of, you know, things like that. All the kids' artwork from the time they first started preschool, you know, things like that, they can't be replaced. So it's still sad. but they are just things. So we know that we're lucky. We know that we're grateful. And we've also had amazing community and friend and family support. So we live in Oskaloosa. Our kids go to school in New Sharon. They do all the sports. We coach there in New Sharon. And we're very active members of the community where we used to live in Missouri as well. So, I mean, really all 3 communities have amazingly stepped up and been so gracious. They've showered us in love and donations, and honestly, I don't think I'll have to buy the kids clothes for at least a couple years. They've gotten so many amazing donations. It's been so touching and heartwarming. I never ever, my wildest dreams, that we would have the amount of support and love that we have been given from perfect strangers even. Just the way that the communities have come together and embraced us, and we're not from here. We're not from here. We've been the typical move-in family to this small community. We've been the outsiders. The kids have been the outsiders, the new kids. While they've made friends, they've made some great friends, they've made some great relationships. They just haven't, I would say though, that they haven't found their core group of friends yet, the ones that they know that even being outsiders, even not being from here, that will have their back no matter what. And that's been a little hard for me as their mom, seeing that and seeing that they haven't quite fit in here yet. They haven't quite found that bond yet that they had in Missouri before we moved them here. So that's been a bit hard for me. And that's another reason why it's just been so filling, so heartwarming to see how many of their classmates have really just kind of stepped up to help them and brought them donations and given away their toys and their books and their clothes. And that's been really special, and I think that's really helped, especially Aaron. He's had the hardest time with fitting in and finding friends here and finding friends that are quality friends to him, that are actually friends to him and not, that don't turn around and make fun of him behind his back. So that's been a hard journey for him and a hard thing for him to understand and realize, because he never experienced anything like that in Missouri. He had a group of friends that he had a very strong bond with down there, and so for him not to be able to form that up here, he's had a really hard time, honestly. It's been heartbreaking, but it's been so heartwarming to see the amount of love and support he's received from people. So it's been amazing. So I'm going to show you what we can see of the house right now. So let's look. So what is the next step? Right now we are working on our list. So I was just listing a bunch of stuff in my head. We were working on our list of all of our contents and everything that is for sure ruined and we cannot save. Also, that is replaceable. So like, you know, the kids' artwork and drawings, like obviously that doesn't count because that's not replaceable. But all of our replaceable items, there's so much. So that is what we are currently working on right now. There was an investigator out here the other day who went through and dug through everything to try to find a cause for the fire, and what he came up with was that he thinks that it could have been faulty wiring. There was a plug issue that he saw that could have sparked and caused it, and you know, just because right where it happened is where we plug the refrigerator in, and we also store all our cardboard and firewood next to the refrigerator. So he thinks that that plug could have sparked and started everything. But ultimately he said that he wasn't able to actually like dig around and like tear stuff up and destroy everything to find a reason, because he thought that maybe the neighbor's house who was damaged, their insurance company might want to also have an investigator there with him when he does that. So he said, you know, I got through what I could and what I could see and what I could dig through without destroying anything. But ultimately, he's going with what he's found so far. So it's either going to be undetermined or faulty wiring. Most likely undetermined, because he just doesn't feel like he can say for sure that it was the faulty wiring, but he feels like that's what it was. But because he, you know, it wasn't able to search as thoroughly as he would have liked, they might come back. If that insurance company wants to send an investigator to be here to see, you know, for themselves, we might have to schedule another time for them to go in there and do that together. But if they don't want to send someone, if they feel like they can accept his determination without, you know, seeing for themselves or whatever, then he won't come back and dig more. He'll just go with what he has. Other than that, like, our biggest thing on the to-do list is to find a place to live temporarily. We have a year to fully decide what we want to do, either rebuild or just pay off the mortgage, take the rest of our insurance money, and potentially, you know, buy a new house or buy a different house. It does make it really tricky to do that, is what they were telling us, because there's a lot of extra hoops to jump through. The only downside about rebuilding is the fact that none of the houses on this street are up to code anymore. They're all too close together, apparently. To rebuild, like, it's gonna have to be completely destroyed, knocked down, foundation dug out, and totally redone. Right now, that's the direction Clint and I are leaning, because they said it's more difficult, it's more of a hassle to basically like take the insurance money and just buy a new property. And we kind of just want, like, we just want it to go smoothly and be done. Although rebuilding could potentially take like 2 to 3 years. What do we do? You know, we love this neighborhood, we love our neighbors. Right now, our main priority and goal, 2 things actually, is we need to find a rental, because we have a year to decide what we want to do, and even if we do decide just to pay off the mortgage and you know, knock it down and just leave it as an empty lot, and then take that money and buy new property, that's still gonna take like 8 to 12 weeks. So no matter what, we need to find a rental. We're currently staying at my parents' house. It's just very cramped. It's very stressful because there's just too many people in that small of an area. So it's very stressful. It's putting a strain on the family, and I don't want that. So, you know, we need to find a rental. just for us to get into, and then we can truly, so going back to the community, they've showered us in amazing donations. Like I said, I don't think I'll need to buy clothes for the kids for a year or two. It's amazing. And we keep getting asked, and they're still so giving, and they're still so gracious. Like, they're still asking us, what do we need? What do we need? I don't know what we need. Like, we need to get into a house so then we can figure out what we need, you know, because right now, like, my parents' house is fully furnished and fully stocked and everything, so we don't need anything right at this point. Which also makes it a little hard because, you know, everybody wants to give right now. And I appreciate that. And I certainly hope that when we are in a rental that they're still going to feel the same way about us and love us and want to help us, you know. But if not, that's okay. We'll make it. We'll be fine. We're gonna survive, you know. But it's that immediate help is amazing. But it's like, I don't know yet. We need a rental first, and then I'll know what we need. Which we need everything, but we don't have anywhere to store it right now. Is the thing. Like, our neighbors right here are amazing. They're keeping Hulk because our dogs are a little too rambunctious for my parents, and my parents don't have a fence, and the dogs kind of stress my parents out, so we didn't want to put any more strain on that relationship. So they're keeping one of the dogs, and they have a ton of stuff in their garage that they're storing for us that they've gotten donations. I think I saw somebody drop off like a bunk bed or something yesterday in their garage. They're amazing neighbors, amazing friends. And then that house right there down the street, they have Beatrix, our other dog. We have the gecko at my parents because he's quiet and doesn't bug them. They have Beatrix, and they've also gotten a ton of donations for us and been so helpful. And then my parents' garage it's packed full with things. Anyways, we do have a GoFundMe account. My mom has also done a Facebook fundraiser account. We also have a Venmo account set up. Both the Facebook fundraiser and the GoFundMe do take a portion of the proceeds, I guess. They take a portion of the money for themselves, and, you know, I don't know, whatever. They take a portion off the top, basically, whereas the Venmo account that we set up, it comes directly to us. We get 100% of that. So it's at Teradai3, and I'll try to leave these links in the description box if you guys want them. If not, we understand. Like, we're doing really well, honestly. All things considering, we are doing really well. You know, but we are so thankful. We're so grateful for what everyone has done for us and what everyone continues to do for us. Aaron's teacher has been so amazing. I mean, all the kids' teachers, Emma's teachers, fourth grade has brought in so many donations. Aaron's teacher she's just been so sweet and so helpful. And, you know, Aaron has a science project coming up, and there were items he needed for it that we didn't have. I could have run out to the store and buy them. I could have bought them. I could have. And I was willing to. I was going to. And she was just like, no. I have this. I have it covered. She's been so amazing. Just the whole school has been amazing. The superintendent is amazing. The communities, you guys. Can I say it enough? Like, our communities have been so amazing. We've been showered in love and support, and we are so, so grateful. Okay, I've repeated everything probably 100 times. I've rambled, and I've probably forgotten 100 things to tell you. So that's where we are right now. I'm going to try to continue to keep you updated. I hope you guys have a great day, and we will talk soon.